because you're all stars at TLM. You know that, right?
Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So let's kick this off. I'm super excited with this panel. This is something like the whole idea of the hackathon was cobbled together because of Pierre, actually, Pierre Leduc. He was unwittingly the spark that led to the hackathon. And then I figured, wow, if we're having all of these people, I think the folks at TLM are doing some incredible work for many startups, many of which I'm involved with or invested in. And so I thought that will be fantastic. So let me start by introducing you very briefly. TLM, TLM, and nobody knows what TLM stands for, by the way. There's a all kinds of urban legend about the meanings of those three letters. Essentially, this is a startup studio. This is over 100 senior software developer, many of which could be CTO of exciting startups in the Silicon Valley. But instead, what they decided to do is to help us and anyone who wants to transform an idea into software. I've been using them in six startups that I've been involved with. I've known the founder for many, many, many years. He almost killed me once or twice, but not in anger, just because he has a very dangerous lifestyle. What else can I say? Also on the panel, we have Jonathan Borduas. Jonathan, you're still there. I'm not seeing you on the list right now, but Jonathan, interestingly, is one of the startup that it was the founder of one of the startup where I actually used or we used the STS. Uh, Jonathan and I worked on a project where we were doing 3D printed face masks during COVID to provide those security while and comfort for first line health workers. And so Jonathan is probably the smartest person that I've ever interacted with. So I'm very
Oh,
pleased to have him on the call also. And he's doing some absolutely amazing things with AI. He'll introduce himself anyway, but he has an incredible pedigree also. So very, very excited, very pleased to have all of you here. So we'll start with I'm going to ask each of the panelists to introduce themselves. So Simon, do you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely, sure. So, hi everyone, I'm Simon. I'm a full stack developer at TLM. I have over 10 years of experience in software development, building SaaS products for clients, startups in Quebec and even in France. And for the past 3 years, I've specialized in AI. So I got a master's degree in artificial intelligence at the University Laval. And so since then, we started at TLM our artificial intelligence division, where we worked on many different projects that touch everything that has to do with AI, not only LLMs, even though they're popular, we do that. But we've done process optimization with constraint programming. We've done image, face ID of animals. It was a great project. So we do image processing, video as well. And yeah, we've worked with conversational AI, real-time AI. So I come in the middle of applied artificial intelligence, not just theory, but also software development. And yeah, I'm super happy to be here and talk about how I also code with AI in the everyday.
Awesome. Pierre, by the way, is the lead developer of of STS. Just to give you some context, I personally maybe have wrote 50% of the code in STS myself, but the team at TLM has wrote the rest of it. And Pierre is my guru, my mentor. and my guide in how to use AI for coding. Pierre?
Hi. Hi, my name is Pierre, and I'm a software developer here at TNM. Uh, uh, I've been doing software development for at least 32 years. So I've seen a lot of projects, a lot of methodology, and all the change that came from 1992 I start, I think. So uh, for the past 18 months, I've been deeply integrating all the AI tool in my workflow. So every stage of development, from analysis, programming, testing. So all the steps now are integrated with tools like Cloud Code, Cursor. Uh, so I'm focusing, my practice now is focusing on developing software, developing coding using AI tool. So that's it. And we'll.
Thank you. David?
Hi, I'm David. I work for TLM for just over a year now. I have around 15 years of experience of pure coding, like we say, but I also have a certain degree of industrial engineering. Especially in continuous improvement. It's exactly what I'm working with AI, also coding, but I'm trying to use AI to improve teams, getting them better day after day. And of course, I'm very happy to be here and nice to meet you.
All right, David, just FYI, we could barely hear you. So if you can maybe speak closer to the mic or increase the, I don't remember the setting.
The volume. Yeah, okay.
All right. Jonathan.
Yeah, can you hear me well, guys?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And people, this is the smartest person I know. I don't know anyone who is brighter than this guy. Seriously. Like.
All right. Thank you, Francis, for that. I'm also a bit shy now. But yeah. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years. Most of my, and I have background in engineering physics. Most of my background was mostly algorithm development, mostly in the 3D space, with application for customizing product for the human body, customizing face mask, customizing football helmet, customizing knee braces. A lot of the best product out there, such as the best football helmet for concussion preventions, are using the technology that I've developed. I'm really proud of that. And now I've been shifting my focus from 3D after selling that company, shifting my focus from the 3D to more of the quant space, so quantitative financial investment, hedge fund. And I'm using AIs to identify potential investment strategies. And I'm developing my own LMs, which are based on game theory. So instead of analyzing, let's say, words or time series, they actually analyze strategies that have paid off in the past and trying to establish if that strategy will materialize again in the future as a potential candidate for being the optimal strategy in a game theory setting. I use AI every day. I now call it my swarm, meaning that I have a swarm of workers nonstop working, testing, debugging, releasing a new version of the code. And I'll talk about that, but one of the upside, of course, of this is productivity. One of the downside is it can be quite overwhelming actually now to have a swarm of workers to maintain and kind of feed new tasks continuously because they're so productive. You kind of become the bottleneck, which is a bit crazy. Yeah.
And just as a point of reference, and just for everyone's benefits, Jonathan mentioned that he did nuclear physics, right? And that's the kind of equations that he's using for 3D printing and morphing of objects, and the same type of equations that I think he's using now for financial investment. So
yeah, the world runs on math and physics runs on math. Math is the language of the world, and it's the kind of little frontier that AI is still struggling. So I'm definitely aiming on leveraging that for the future. Yeah.
And also, as a friend, Jonathan, you mentioned that you're using, and I'm going to start with the line of questions now. So I'll start with you, Jonathan. And my first questions to you is, how do you use AI today? But first, tell us, how much did you spend on tokens, AI tokens, last month?
About $4,000. So and I'm definitely thinking of starting to buy my own GPUs and run them locally and have like a cluster of Mac Studio with that 512 gigabytes of RAM to be able to save some money. But at some point and that's been the position of many people in Silicon Valley now. It's just you spend. The goal is pure speed. You
And
shouldn't
how many software engineers would you have need in order to accomplish what you did in that month?
20.
So
Yeah.
for $4,000 of AI tokens, you got the output of maybe 20 software engineers.
And I didn't get the drama, which is amazing.
Okay, so
Right,
that's
real
not
savings.
nice for
I
the
love
other
that.
coders that are on the call, but yes.
Yeah, or the cost of benefits. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
All right. So tell us a little bit more briefly, how do you use AI today? If you can just give a bit more of a sense of, the flow that and how you're using them.
Yeah, so I use Cloud Code like many developers are now using. I'm creating my own tool set within Cloud Code. So I've been using the vanilla, the standard version of Cloud Code for months, and then at some point, all of these new scaffolding got out like GSD, which is an amazing plugin. And so I've been kind of optimizing and building and kind of revamping all of those tools so that it fits my workflow and it optimize my workflow on a day-to-day basis so that I don't have to like for example, the debugging now is fully automated. I can run 8-hour sessions of it documenting, making hypotheses and testing them out and noting the outcome of each test and kind of documenting the progression and even having a quorum of multiple agents arguing with each other as to what is the most likely next step that could be solving the issue. So it kind of becomes as a user of AI, you kind of get more and more deep into the meta of it, aspect of it, meaning that first you use AI to code, and then you use AI to optimize the AI itself, the infrastructure, the test system. And then you use AI to optimize the plugin. And then I'm using my own plugin to develop my own plugin. And it's kind of just that like increasingly effective speed of me going instead of being like in the depth of each decision, I can take a more and more of a step back, and instead of it being a team leader of multiple kind of developer or agent, now I'm kind of going up the echelon of a company in a sense because I'm automating all of the lower rank in the hierarchy of that company using AI.
I'm
So
gonna
that I
have to
can
cut you
focus
short
back on
now because
strategy.
I want to hear from the other also, but
Yeah,
this is
sorry.
awesome. Thank you. David, how do you use AI today?
Oh, do you hear me good?
Yes, it's now much better. Thank you.
Yeah, great. The way I use AI every day, essentially to develop my main project with my customer, I use Cursor. If anyone knows it, it's a great IDE. It's a kind of Visual Studio Code fork, and we are able to use Claude and any modern AI models. What's very good now in AI development is because we can put all our code base into the AI, add context. It's the main goal, adding context. And how can I say that? We also have to think about feature, not code, because AI can do code for you. You have to think about features, not code. It's the main goal I have to do every day. So essentially, we are shifting towards features. So the developers are doing less code and more thinking about what you are trying to create. It's the major shift, essentially.
Thank you. And obviously, like we many of these questions we could delve into and spend hours on. So this is meant to be a high-level introduction for most people here, but we'll have time for Q&A, and we can do deep dives offline for those who are interested in that. Simon, how do you use AI today?
Yes, so as for me, I basically use it a bit like Jonathan in every level in the development life cycle. So from ideation to prototyping, when I contact a startup that has an idea of in AI they want to implement in their system. Before that, it would take maybe up to a few weeks or a month before reaching a prototype that works. Using their data. I'm talking machine learning, really coding myself using frameworks and doing the whole AI pipeline. And now it's now in a matter of hours, in maximum one day, and we have something running. We can already evaluate whether it's good and we move forward, or we rethink, or we let go. So really great for prototyping. I use it every day for coding. Automatic testing, documentation also a lot, especially nowadays. I at TLM I often switch projects, so it's always I always need to onboard into the new project, and being assisted with the AI to generate documentation, tell me where the entry point is, what each service does. It's really great as a guide as well. So not only for coding, but really showing me around an existing code base. And in general, the smaller things such as automatic commit messages, code reviews, writing unit tests. So I basically use it in every single part of the life cycle.
Thank you, Simon. And by the way, for those in the call that are not necessarily coder or steeped into the, I recognize that there might be a lot of jargon, acronyms, words that look familiar, but you're not sure exactly why they're being used in that context. Feel free to ask questions. And also as the hackathon progress, we'll take our transcripts from the conversations, but also the chats, the questions, the answer from the chat, and we'll provide definitions for those terms if that's something that's of interest to people.
Yeah,
Pierre, how do you use AI today?
Yeah. I have two main use for AI in my project, depending on the project. First one, maybe it's the one I was used to use a couple of months ago. It's to maintain a software or just trying to understand the software. So I'm using Cloud Code or Cursor to dig into the code, ask some modification, local modification, and maintain the software in a very simple way. And it's used for planning, coding, debugging, like my other colleague. And I use mainly Cloud Code for developing complex feature complete autonomous sandbox. So I'm using some tool like Cloud Flow, Cloud Coach that help me to analyze the feature that I have to develop and suggest me how I can set up my sandbox to be efficient in the developing using Swarm, etc. So when it comes to develop a feature, I'm trying to do a good analysis with a good plan. Then I'll let the AI coding the system, coding all the requirement. Then after that, I'm coming back in the loop, reviewing the code, validate that all the standards are correct and everything is okay. So at the end, the AI did not change what need to be done. He just changed how we doing it. So after that, after the code is done, we need to check if it's okay, go commit, and then we go to the next feature.
And I think that's a very good segue for my next question. And I'll start with you, Pierre, because you told me 6 months ago what the impact of using AI had on your career and or on your own state of mind regarding your work. So tell me, how did using AI change your work? And I'm talking about the type of task that you're doing, obviously quality and productivity improvements, but I'm mostly interested in how does that change the way you feel about being like developing software and the pleasure, the challenges, the drain, maybe the anxiety, if that's the case, whatever. Like, but more on I'm interested in the human side of how using AI is impacting you, because this is a very important topic for everyone in society, because what's happening in 2025, 2026 for software developer is coming from for everybody else in every other line of work. So I think you guys are at the forefront of a social experiment, and I'm interested in hearing how the mouse on the labyrinth are doing.
Great question. Yep.
In fact, it's a complete paradigm shift. For my part, talking for me, I'm coding. I've been coding for 30 years, so I'm good at coding. I like coding, but I prefer deliver product, deliver value for my customer, for my client, and that's where the AI came and changed completely the way I'm seeing my job, and in a good way. So I can concentrate on talking with my customer, with my client, developing feature specification, and then I can deliver value rapidly and with a good quality. So the pace of delivery is going up, and the coding that I have to go to do manually, it's radically going down, if not null. So the value, anyway, my value in software development, it's not writing line of code. It's a line of code is a line of code. If I spend 2 days to write 500 line of code, it's there's no value of writing. The value is in the product and the final delivery. So it's a complete game changer for me, and I really like the way I see my career for the next 10, 11, 20 years.
Don't get ahead of yourself. I have a question for that. Thank you, Pierre. Great answer. So, folks, everyone, the panel is going to go a little bit over time, but we had planned for Ask Me Anything. for the following 30 minutes. So we're gonna eat a little bit into that, but I think you're all sensing that this is a great privilege to have these leading edge practitioners share their experience with us. Right? Simon, how are you using? How does has AI changed your work and or your life, and how do you feel about that change?
Yes, very good and interesting question, especially when you said earlier we were at the front of this change. For me, well, not only for me, but for most developers, it's way less boilerplate code. So it's no longer about writing that if statement or adding that semicolon. It's more of a broad look at the architecture, the functions, the features, as David said. And it's more of a supervision role. So for me, I'm no longer, or it's rarer that I really code something myself. I've learned the fundamentals, so I am more in a supervision role and more in a decision-making role. It feels great to feel like I'm having a conversation with another expert when I speak to the AI, even though it sometimes still makes mistakes, and at the end of the day, I'm the one that makes the decisions. But it's great to be constantly challenged and getting recommendations on approaches. It's really great. However, one thing I've noticed ever since I made that change is that more than ever, I'm less attached to code. So before that, when I was writing the boilerplate code, it will make me know by heart the whole code base, basically. So the function, I will know, well, on this line, it does that. And now I was able to redirect, for example, a colleague to a specific line if there was a bug because I knew it. I'm the one that coded it. And now it's harder to do so because I have more of a broader visibility on the code base, but not on a line per line level. So this is something that definitely changed, is that I now have a much broader vision on the code base and not really in a more per line level. So this is a challenge because I still need to be that owner of the code and I need to understand it well. So it makes revision and supervision really important more than ever.
So that's very interesting, Simon. So for those of us in this call that have had the challenge and the privilege to be in the leadership and especially at the executive level leadership role, this letting go, going from an expert, like Gary used to be a CPA, and now he had to evolve in his career, I'm sure, as managing CPAs and now managing people that manage CPAs, maybe. So that you have to go through that process. What I'm thinking is that AI is now training all of these software developers to become,
managers.
CEO in training. So
exactly.
because that's really the same thing that you're experiencing into letting go of owning every single line of code and being and yet keeping the responsibility for the overall value being delivered and the objective. So a great answer.
Yeah.
David.
Yep. AI changed everything for me. Essentially, it's like having a team working for you. I have around 10 years of experience being a team lead. So writing requirements, talking with the team, with the customer, and doing the right thing, planning ahead. So AI is essentially the same thing. I have my requirements, I have my documentation, I know what to do, how to do it, and the AI is simply doing 90% of my coding. I only code around 10% of everything I do. The only thing I do is writing specifications. So every feature I want to create, I create a documentation. So what it's going to do, what's the user, how it's going to be used, what's the definition of done, what's the test. So I write my requirements and the AI do this, create the feature with my requirements. So it's essentially a shift towards, like Pierre and Simone said, it's a shift towards what we do. We don't code anymore. We are creating and delivering features and products. And I have a thought for the junior developers that are currently doing at school. It will be very difficult for them, because to greatly use AI at the maximum, you need to know how to architecture your product, how to read code, and how to know what is wrong and what is right. And this needs a lot of experience. But what I remember Elon Musk with Grok said, by the end of 2027, the AI will not produce any code. It will directly give you the binary code of your app. So you tell your requirements, and the app gives you the AI gives you the app. So there's no middle layer of code. So in the next 2 years, we might see this. No more code, only requirements and the delivery of the product. And it changed everything for every developers. And we have to do this change because every other companies are doing it. So we have to be in the wave. We have to do it also. We have to be better, more performant, faster, and give more quality in everything we do. And it's very hard. We have to get involved in every steps of the product, and it's a pretty big change since the last 2 years.
And so, just to be clear, are you happy or unhappy about that?
Oh, I'm very happy about that because, like Pierre said, I like to deliver product. I like to tell my customer, hey, I just did in one day what a team could have done this for 2 months. So that's great. We deliver faster, better, but it will be very difficult for the new developers that are coming in.
That's and the thing about what's the impact of AI for younger people in the world, that they are going to be growing up, and how they are going to get the experience that they need in this new world. It's a big societal challenge.
Exactly.
I don't think anyone knows how to address that, and we'll just have to figure it out as we go. Jonathan, I'd like to hear you on the same question of how is AI as AI changed the nature of your work, and you mentioned a little bit something that spoke to me. You said that you're feeling sometimes more tired, and it's interesting because Pierre just said that he feels less tired at the end of the day. But my experience has been that I was more tired because I had to make more decisions, and I don't like different experience. I'd like to hear you about that.
Yeah, so the productivity has been increased tenfold, definitely. The expectation of VCs and investors have grown 20-fold. So that's the challenge that we have, is that now to be a startup founder, it's not about the concept. Well, it wasn't about the concept for the last 5 years, but it's not about the MVP, definitely. If you have an MVP, it's not enough anymore.
Minimum viable product for those who don't know the lingo.
You need to show real dollar incoming. You need to show real traction, real customer paying for your product. Because it's kind of so easy now to get to that point, because you have all those coding tools, and you can do marketing, you can do so many things with AI that it just put more pressure at the end of the day. And VCs are also kind of cautious. We're all feeling this massive transition in our society, and they tend right now to concentrate their investment in the same player that everybody else is investing. So I'm afraid for society, for major concentration of wealth, which is not a good idea. Few winners wins all. It's true in startups. It will be true in the society. It will be harder for junior position to get the experience necessary to get a nice job at Amazon or at Microsoft. So yeah, I think the expectation for productivity still outweighs the added productivity in those tools, and I'm quite confident that I'm extremely productive, but the pressure is just quite high. And the fact now that you have this swarm of worker always working, always waiting for next guidance. I mean, you can sleep, you go to sleep, and then the next day you see all those Cloud Code session done, 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 validated, validated, all green across the board. It's amazing. But then it's feeding them. So you become the bottleneck. So I find myself often every hours, even during the weekend, going back to my computers or looking at my phone now that I have TMUX streaming, I can kind of control my session remotely and give Cloud Code more instruction. I find myself like every hours of a week always checking on my army, my swarm that, that I call them. Yeah. So that's yeah, it's having true vacation is becoming harder, I think. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Now, you've all touched a little bit on that, and we are 10 minutes past the time for this panel. So very briefly, 30 seconds. I'm gonna ask each one of you, what do you anticipate for the next 12 months? Not 5 years. For the next 12 months, what do you expect in terms of you new capabilities, impact for yourself, impact for your companies or your clients, society, in 30 seconds or less? Jonathan.
Yeah, so we've gone through Agentic 1.0 with coding agent. Now we're living Agentic 2.0 with the scaffolding, the framework like GSD and all the other framework that manage really well the context rot. I think the future, the next 12 months, will be the quorum or the council of agent. All the agents, they have weakness, they have strength, and it's not the same. So having multiple agents, right now I have 10 coding agents arguing with each other for every plan, every feature, every test log that are validated. And I see the tremendous value in having this kind of automation that creates debate between coding agent and creates alignment. And once you have a plan that has been approved by multiple coding agent, usually you kind of get first time perfection. You reduce the number of iteration, and you kind of go back to the basics that a developer should spend 80% of the time reading and planning and only 20% really coding. And that's what I'm seeing right now, is that instead of, we already we already saw a transition for people like realizing, okay, you have to plan, you need a step for planning, and then you need a step for coding. Well, the step for planning should take longer, and it should be deeper, and it should be between multiple agents, multiple LMs arguing. And with this setup, you get amazing performance. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next 12 months. People realizing that the council of agent is actually the way to go in the future.
Thank you. It was more than 30 seconds, but thank
Sorry.
you. David.
Yep, pretty quick. Two things. First, I think in the next 12 months, the AI will generate the app without generating the code. Because right now, the AI generate the code, and the code is making your app what it is. So I think in the next 12 months, maybe more, the AI will completely bypass the coding step. So it will generate your app, whatever the framework is. So I think it will be a major change. And the second thing is the thing I would like to see in the next 12 months. I would like to see more the open source community around AI. I don't know if you read the news in the past week. OpenClaw is a great open source environment that is essentially an at-home AI complete environment that can do everything for you, like reading emails, sending emails, checking feed, like everything. And the guy that created this was hired by OpenAI within 48 hours. Within 48 hours. So the big companies are currently buying open source guys that are doing very great job. And I would like to have at my home hardware to host my own AI, so I will not rely on cloud or any big companies. I want to be self-sufficient on this. So please, open source, hear me out.
Thank you. Great call for action to an entire community of millions.
Yep.
Simon.
Yeah, actually, real quick, for me, in terms of teams using AI at companies, at startups, I think we'll see in the next 12 months way more streamlining of AI agent configuration. Now that it can be pushed to code, so they can have the same, for example, AI agent rules, slash commands, skills, even MCP integrations, internal documents. So I think we're really going to see more streamlining of how AI agents are used for coding inside each company, and more adoption overall for the next 12 months. I think in a year, if you're still not using AI, you'll be behind. You're already, but it'll be way more the case.
Right. And Pierre, final word?
Yeah, my colleague already assessed the technical part. I would just say one of my projects was I have some time estimation using manual coding. So the evaluation was made thinking that a human will code it. So after a couple of months, the AI coding cut about 70% of the coding time for a feature. So if the AI can replace a senior programmer and only take 30% of the time to develop a feature, the company that ignore this reality in a 12-month time frame will be competition with company with 3 times the velocity, and the company that don't adopt AI coding, AI development in the next 10-12 months won't be any competition and any won't be in the game.
All right. So I don't know if that's very uplifting in terms of final word. One thing I wanted just to wrap this up. We have Paul Shea on the call here that asked probably 500 times for an undo feature on STS. And for 2 years, I said, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have the investors to implement that. It will take, I had estimated something around at least between $20,000 to $40,000, at least 2 months, at least 2 engineers to do that, implement that feature in STS. And with Pierre's guidance and AI colleagues, I did it myself in 2 days last fall. So that's the kind of transformative impact that AI can have in developing software. Now, the thing is, and where I'm concerned is that there is it's one thing to increase the productivity of coding, but what about the productivity of thinking? And this goes back to the mission statement for STS, strategic thinking systems. How do we make better decisions? How do we get to a consensus? You cannot 10x the time it takes for 10, 20 people to agree on something. This is still a human-driven process. As Rick Bodero constantly reminds us, we need to also learn slow thinking. And slow thinking to me does not mean that we cannot use AI to do better thinking, but it's just like not everything can be optimized for time. Some of the things that we do need to be optimized for quality, for impact, for alignment. So that's what we're trying to do. All right, let's open the floor now. Who has questions for our esteemed panel? Raise your hand if you have a question. Mark.
Hi, yes, that was great. I really appreciate that. My question is, how much of your time is spent correcting AI coding, whether it's a hallucination or not understanding the platform that you're using or the language you're using? So how much of your day is spent fixing bugs, if you like, that has been created by your code? And my context is I used AI to generate an application in a language I'd never used before, and it's done a great job, generally speaking, and educating me on how to do many things with databases. But still, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out why it's not working, and it usually is an AI hallucination. So, what's your experience?
It's been decreasing tremendously over the last 2 years. I think context rot, which is when your context is full uh, and basically the LM doesn't know where to put his attention, decrease the quality extremely. And that's where the agentic 2.0 is really solving a lot of issues by using very small files as the context that is given to sub-agent to fix issue. And that's really improving the quality. And of course, entropic models are extremely good at safe thinking or not hallucination. And so there's been a lot of improvement. I currently, with my current workflow, mostly work on the human aspect of the software, meaning the interface, the happy path of of the journey of the user within the platform is not good, is not great. The human touch is, I think, something that LM still have a lot of trouble understanding what should be the happy path, the UX of the software. But in terms of doing coding mistake, still happens, but it's with a correct DevOps process, CI/CD automated, you can catch them and you can automatically fix them. And the worst thing that I've seen still happens so far to these days are local bug fix that don't fix the global state, meaning a kind of ping pong oscillation effect where you have the agent fix a local bug, then it affects other section of the software, then it goes to fix other section of the software, and then it breaks the other part, and it kind of pings pong uncontrollably for days because it's unsupervised, and nothing act as a watcher or nothing as act kind of as a manager to say like, hey, stop. You have to fix not A, not B, but A and B together with a third solution called C. So that's what I've seen like as a kind of a still a weakness happening. It's kind of those massive ping pong oscillation effect that it kind of forgets about the like a human would never forget the pain that had to fix a bug. Like you spend 3 days fixing something, you'll remember it. The coding agent doesn't remember that, doesn't have that sense of alienation that a human being will have, and so it it can it can definitely oscillate and have that ping pong effect. Still not solved to this day. That's, I think, yeah, all the rest is kind of solvable, being solved, working well. Yeah.
Miguel, let's go to you.
Thank you.
Miguel, you have a question?
Jonathan already answered a little bit of the question that I put here, but I just want to really know if now AI, in this case Claude, could be the orchestrator, and you forget about making agents. The Claude will decide which other LLMs or other things is going to use. So the agents are just his management, on cloud management, and you are the only one that you have to tell exactly what you want and exactly what uh, Claude, the orchestrator, that you want to accomplish, and he will handle that. That's the case, Jonathan?
No, it's not the case. So, and that's kind of really frontier. If you make the parallel with a company, if you're a manager, for certain tasks, you might want to assign them to a certain employee because you know that this task and this employee are really a great fit. There's no scoring system that is good enough or in depth enough to say for this particular type of problem, you should use that LM. I mean, you have like basic scoring system like for web development, but like specific, very specific issues, it's kind of a hit or miss. Sometimes Codex finds the answer, sometimes Codex, which is OpenAI. Sometimes it's Gemini that finds the answer, sometimes it's Grok that finds the answer. Opus is kind of the best all around, but it's not, and it finding the weakness of LMs is kind of really hard. So I just throw the problem at all of them, and I
Okay,
kind
but
of, yeah.
the question is, do you have internal agents that Claude uses, or you let Claude decide what to do?
No, Claude is basically creating a plan right now. That's the way I use it. It creates a plan, and then that plans get validated by each full coding agent. So each Gemini, like full coding agent, not just LMs, which has full access to all the code base, for example. And they will review the plan, they will review the source code, and they will argue, approve, reject, propose improvement. And I'm starting to track which one is the best contrarian. For example, which one is
Okay.
always finding saying the plan is not good, but winning the argument as to why the plan was not good. And making, because you kind of want the best team is probably a team of experts in very different fields, or people that are very diverse in their opinion, or agents that are very diverse in their opinion, that kind of balance out, or like, I think diversity of opinion is the best in a team, and it's the best in a team of agent as well.
And get to the same result in different sources with different things,
Yeah.
procedures. Okay, thank you.
All right, Rick, briefly.
Yeah, I'll be brief. I very much appreciated it. It was an affirmation of what I thought, which is this incredible efficiency that can go on. And with that incredible efficiency, we can actually have more time for slow thinking that Francis alluded to. The problem, though, is there was a recent podcast by Peter Diamandis and his crew talking about, the 40x reduction in the cost of AI. I don't know whether it's true or not, but that was a hype, saying it's going down very rapidly, which means it can become more available, which means it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be equitable in terms of the access to these resources. And one of the disruptions they're describing over the next 2 to 7 years is the incredible socioeconomic impact on society. And so they're launching an equity moonshot, or a moonshot project, in the fall, which I don't know if you've not heard about it, you may want to look into it. I'm certainly curious about it. But the problem is if we just stay with a business focus and we're not thinking about the wider societal impacts, we're going to be in deep doodah. unless we start addressing this issue. This is a much more complicated question than can be answered in a short period of time, but this leads into tomorrow's theme, which is we have to change our thinking big time and become much more sophisticated in how we can cultivate wisdom. I'm Rick, and I'm done speaking. I hope that was short enough for you, Francis.
Yeah, that was not a question, but that's okay. All right.
I was going to ask one, but I thought we're short for time. Okay.
All right. It's we're at the top of the hour. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I'm very grateful for our 4 panelists, Simon, Jonathan, Pierre, and Mathieu. David. Sorry.
Thank you.
David, yes. There are too many Davids in my life and on this call already. Not to you, David Rottenberg. But yeah, so thank you to our panelists. I think this was even better than I had anticipated. So you gave thoughtful answers. As I mentioned, I'm assuming it's okay for us to share contact details if someone wants to ask you questions offline. So what we're going to do now, I suggest maybe a 10-minute break. Ben, do you think that's appropriate? So we'll do a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and look at the challenges. I created a board for a quasi-voting system, so that people can manifest their interest for the various challenges, and we'll be discussing those challenges and maybe combining some of them together and figuring out how to attack them. The Zoom is going to stay open throughout the hackathon, but we're essentially done presenting. It'll be more like interaction in the next hour, and then we'll probably do breakouts for the teams to start attacking the challenges. For those of you who just want to listen in on when there is content being presented, come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, Montreal, New York time, to 1 p.m. The important time tomorrow is from noon to 12:30, when there will be Ben's panel on the thinking that matters, not panel, but a presentation on the thinking that matters. There will be some of those developers from today will be available from 12:30 to 1 p.m. tomorrow for another Ask Me Anything. And thank you all for attending, for your questions, for your participation. Thank you for the panel again. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
Take care. Okay.
Share.